One thing you'd certainly look to exploit in the Knicks defense is how aggressive they are in nail help. Nail help meaning, as you'll see, the position Obi Toppin's in now, which is either gap help or called nail help, is his man is Taurean Prince, who, by the way, had already made 3 threes in this game, was 3 for 3 at this time. And even though he's 1 pass away and Conley's coming towards the middle, so the pass is easy, the Knicks do always help on this elbow in order to deter the path to the rim. Now, in this case, what Obi Toppin has to understand is a few things. Number one, Mike Conley, as good as he still is not too much of a threat going to the rim. He's more of a pull-up shooter and a ball mover. Number two, as I said earlier, Taurean Prince is already 3 for 3 from 3. He's feeling it. And number 3 is the Knicks are in a good position to guard this 2v2. You have to read the floor. If you feel like the guy guarding at the point of attack and the big guarding the pick and roll are in good position, you can take a couple of steps here. The drive is already deterred to some extent, so Obi's way too far off, and you'll see he keeps digging in to the point where he's like holding hands with Hartenstein. Well, this pass is way too easy for a hot shooter, and Obi's not quick enough to recover. He has to understand that about himself, too. This is exploiting something the Knicks do, and also a poor job by Toppin in understanding the situation and ensuring he's in good position. Another way the Wolves exploited the Knicks defense was by exploiting their worst defender, and that was Jalen Brunson. And they attacked him all night, but they didn't do so in isolation for the most part. It's not really what the Wolves want to do. It's not what they did. They actually just forced him into really difficult positions. Now, to start with, Brunson's matched up on Jaden McDaniels because the Knicks don't like to put him on the point of attack player, and that's Conley here. So IQ's guarding him, and there's so much size on the floor with Prince, Gobert, Anderson, and McDaniels that the Knicks felt this was the less of all evils, was to put him on McDaniels, who often does just kind of chill in the corner and then crash offensive rebounds. And the Wolves are going to exploit that entire scenario by bringing their 3 best players on the night together here. Prince, who had hit 6 or 7 threes already, Conley, who'd just been all over the place and in the lane and passing and making pull-up threes all night, and Gobert, who's been a screening menace all night. They're going to bring them all together on this side of the floor and swing it out to Kyle Anderson. And now what you're going to see is Prince starts to make his way back into the fray, and the assumption is that they're going to run some action to spring him or Conley, and Anderson's going to feed the ball back to this weak side. And that's why you see Isaiah Hartenstein, who normally when the ball gets swung to the weak side would take a few steps into the paint to wall off the paint as the Knicks do. He's still all the way out here anticipating the action. And watch what Kyle Anderson does, and this is all designed, is instead of waiting for anything to develop here, it's just a quick swing, and McDaniels has the opportunity to attack a weak defender in Brunson with no help behind him. And that's exactly what he does. He attacks the gap. Hartenstein never sees it because he's paying attention to this. It's a really smart design. Brunson picks up the foul. Luckily, it was on the floor, and no points were scored here, but it's still a great example of what the Wolves are doing to try to put Brunson into difficult positions and exploit him as the worst defender on the floor.